You guys ever have one of those holiday seasons where the holiday spirit just isn't hitting like it used to? I mean, when it feels like only the bad parts of the holiday season are coming through. I'm talking the cold weather, the stress, the consumerism, and none of the good, cozy parts. No warm fireplaces, no actual snow, no carolers coming by your house. And on top of all that, you ran out of your peppermint hot chocolate mix like a year ago. I know I could buy more, but like, what's the point when I'm this depressed? You know, if only I could just find the perfect holiday movie. I bet that would change everything. Yeah, the perfect holiday movie. I can just picture it now.
Did to walk upright.
Last chance!
Ugh. Well, whatever that movie is, it's not the one we're gonna talk about today. Sorry, everyone. This year's Snoopykin holiday special is brought to you by this prosthetic makeup-filled absolute monstrosity of a Christmas movie called Three Bears Christmas. I saw it on YouTube for the first time a couple years ago, and it has haunted me ever since. And I need to get it off my chest already. And y'all are officially on this ride with me, so let's go. The movie opens on this hideous CGI storybook, which starts flipping through all of these production stills of the actors. At least I'm pretty sure that's what they are. These photos are so filtered and blown out, I can barely tell what I'm looking at. And the song that this movie's forcing on us is definitely not helping things.
The most wonderful gift for you.
Yep, we are dealing with a low-budget musical today. Buckle up, folks. And then the real movie starts by slapping us hard in the eyes with this image.
Happy holiday!
I mean, good lord, just look at that shit right there. The prosthetic makeup in this movie is ungodly. It is so heavy. There has to be like a gallon of sweat just sloshing around in there. Oh, by the way, this is Felonious Fuzztail. He's gonna be our cost-saving narrator of the evening. His job is to pop on screen and launch into some expository voiceover whenever we hit a relatively expensive plot point that the director was either too lazy or too cheap to actually shoot with the actors. Anyway, Felonious is like, bet you're wondering why this bear is talking to you in English right now, huh, you Christmas idiot? Well, let me tell you what happened here. You see, this is no ordinary forest. This is an enchanted forest, which means naturally that it's full of clip art flowers and butterfly gifts and stock footage of bears flagrantly scratching their asses at us. Every plant and animal in the enchanted B-roll forest lived in peace and harmony until the humans arrived. And then everything turned blue as the evil humans marched into this old-timey forest in their modern Levi's and started chopping down a bunch of trees to build their human houses. Shit really hit the fan one day when a certain woodsman walked into the forest looking to chop down the biggest Christmas tree he could find. He brought his wife and infant daughter with him, presumably to help him carry it back into town when he was done, I guess. But unfortunately, our woodsman made the colossal mistake of cutting down Mother Nature's favorite Christmas tree. I'm sorry, Felonious. You're saying that thing's beloved? It looks exactly the same as all the other trees out there to me. Also, Mother Nature celebrates Christmas? Sure. Oh my god, we better just roll with it. If we ask too many questions now, we are never gonna finish this movie. So then, oh man, get ready for this. Mother Nature appears in the sky wearing her signature flower crown to avenge her precious fallen Christmas tree. Mother Nature tells the woodsman to kindly take his baby from his wife so she can sentence his wife to eternal servitude, and then she just vaporizes the shit out of his wife right in front of him. Think about this. The last thing that this woman ever saw was her own husband just stepping aside and letting her get vaporized. I mean, this guy doesn't even try. He doesn't even beg for her life. He's just like, well, that's just the way the Christmas crumbles. You had a good run, honey.
It was quite a pickle, folks.
No shit, Felonious. So according to Felonious, it never snowed on Christmas in the forest ever again. Furthermore, Mother Nature has banned all humans from entering the forest until a human makes some kind of huge personal sacrifice in the name of her creation. And to enforce this, I still can't believe this. Mother Nature endowed all animals with the ability to walk and talk as the humans do, which means they look like this now. You know, I normally hate to argue with Mother Nature, but Mother Nature, explain. How is this awkward monstrosity gonna perform better as a forest bouncer than an actual bear? I'd say for most humans, bears are a good enough deterrent already to keep us from wandering brainlessly into any given forest. Felonious swears by the deviant art technique, though. He says it especially comes in handy around Christmas time, the animal's favorite time of the year. Oh, is it now? We're still talking about the time of year where the majority of real bears are hibernating, right? We are 6 minutes into this movie, and with all that backstory established, we flash forward to the present, where our main cast of disturbing animals are throwing a Christmas party. Check this out. Not only have the animals discovered human speech and Christianity, they've also discovered electricity and the Costco holiday display section. We are then treated to the most generic Christmas song you will ever hear. It's basically just a rhythmic list of Christmas-related things. I can't actually play too much of the music for you guys, so you're gonna have to just take my word on this one. It's just like, Christmas bells, trim the tree, slice of pie. Oh, but also this one skunk trashes his wife's cooking for absolutely no reason.
She tried to fry me up a fish, but didn't take out the hook.
Yeah, for a movie about Christmas, the animals in it act like assholes to each other literally all the time. Now it's time we meet our protagonist of today's adventure, Baby Bear. Seen here in some kind of green screen wormhole in the middle of the kitchen. He's having a good time until this possum lady drags him out of the wormhole to sing about how important it is to give good gifts to people you love during Christmas, which makes Baby Bear remember that he hasn't gotten Mama Bear anything for Christmas this year. So he flies into a panic. He drags his best friend Benny Beaver outside to confide in him, which is a strange choice given that Benny sucks. He sucks as a friend. He sucks as comedic relief. He sucks at emoting through that 10-pound rubber mask on his face. Not that that's his fault. This poor child is fighting for his life to convey a single thought or emotion through that oppressive thing on his face. But it's no use. And even if he didn't have the mask to worry about, the material he's given to work with, good lord.
And I can barely tie my bow tie. Need I say more?
The situation's hopeless. Anyway, Baby Bear decides that tomorrow morning, he and Benny are gonna get up early to go looking for a gift for Mama Bear together. Now, Benny's worried about somebody in the forest called the Boo Hag, but Baby Bear is like, nah, forget that Boo Hag. That's just a story that the grown-ups tell us to scare us. And so the plan is set. We then cut to the edge of the woods where this little girl named Goldie is gazing out the window of this puny tool shed of a cabin that she lives in. Seriously, these are the human homes that destroyed the forest. Goldie's listening to the music from the animal party when her dad, that woodsman from the beginning of the movie, comes over to talk to her. Goldie asks him about, like, you know, why don't we ever get invited to the animal Christmas parties? And Dad instantly gets kind of racist about it.
Listen very carefully, little one. Humans and animals don't get along
They sound very happy.
because they're with their own kind.
However, Goldie valiantly resists her dad's ideological brainwashing, and the next day she packs a basket of food as a peace offering to the animals. Then we cut to Baby Bear and Benny sneaking out for their little mama bear gift hunt. Felonious comes back to narrate over these terrible storybook graphics. God, just look at this shit. It's like CCTV forest footage of their last known moments alive. Anyway, the kids unwittingly wander off the trail and straight into boo-hag territory, because of course they do. They eventually find these huge turnips, and one of those huge turnips would simply make Mama Bear's entire life. So they grab one of the turnips and then... oh no, what's this?
Pumpkin pie.
Jesus Christ. What in the Jim Henson sleep paralysis demons is this thing? Why does it have chin tentacles? What's their function? Ugh, never mind. Keep it to yourself, boo-hag. So the boo-hag is pissed, because this is her turnip garden, and she's got no empathy for their Christmas gift situation at all. So as punishment, she transforms Baby Bear into a human boy, and she says that if they don't find the perfect Christmas gift for Mama Bear by Christmas morning tomorrow, Baby Bear's gonna be a human boy forever, and Mother Nature's gonna ban him from the Enchanted Forest. Oh no, not a human boy! All that unobstructed breathing and emoting he's gonna do? What a nightmare. Meanwhile, Goldie is now making her way through the forest with her basket, just looking for any animal to hand it off to, I guess. She gets spotted by these squirrels, and the squirrels are also terrible. What a shocker.
Of course we're excited. Everybody loves squirrels.
Anyway, Goldie comes across this fairy, decides she trusts it with her life, and just starts following it around. The squirrels keep stalking her though, and they steal her basket. Anyway, now Goldie's lost because that dickhead fairy led her right off the trail. We're back with Baby Bear and Benny as they try to figure out what to do next. Obviously, they need to get to work finding that perfect gift to break the curse. Their initial strategy here seems to be to stuff anything that looks relatively interesting and or edible into that pillowcase they're carrying around, and then just like hope that ends up being the perfect gift for Mother Bear, starting with this totally natural blue rock that Benny finds on the ground, and then this absolutely disgusting beehive gets their attention. I need you guys to experience this acting moment real quick.
Go away, stupid bee. Buzz off, bee. Why don't you go home to your beehive? A beehive!
Then we get a montage of the boys trying to get the beehive down. If only there were real bears in this forest. I bet they could just climb up that tree with their God-given claws or something crazy like that. Oh well, this is Mother Nature's DeviantArt account and we're just living in it. By the way, throughout these sequences with the kids, we get some clips of the parrots discovering that their kids are missing. First the woodsman, then the beaver mom. Then we cut to Papa Bear decorating the bear house, even though the house has already clearly been decorated. By the way, that misogynist skunk who was some kind of southern hick last night, today he's British.
Oh, Papa Bear, it's looking quite festive.
Then the animal mothers barge onto the scene to announce that the boys have gone missing, and then everybody starts to panic.
Well, where could they be?
We cut back to Goldie stumbling upon the boys while they're still struggling to attain that beehive. The boys spot Goldie, they freak out, they finally knock the beehive down, and now we're all getting attacked by bees. The kids are screaming for their lives. Meanwhile, we can see that the adults can hear them screaming from where they are. They fully react to the screams, and then they do nothing. People, your children are within earshot. Like, what are you doing? The moms just sob uselessly until Papa Bear's like, all right already, I'll look for them. Now, in the aftermath of the bee fiasco, Goldie tries to befriend the boys. They still don't trust her at first, but, you know, for the sake of plot convenience, they get over it pretty quickly. Benny fills Goldie in on their whole boo-hag predicament. Then Goldie trauma dumps on the boys about how, like, she and her dad don't celebrate Christmas. And, you know, her dad is is a total anti-animal bigot, but she's not like that, you guys. So the boys are like, you know what? If you help us find a gift for Mama Bear, we'll help you find your way home. And then they put Benny Beaver in charge of leading the way. Because that's smart, Felonious comes back to narrate the kids finding a bunch of potential gifts, such as a peacock feather, some amber stones, and like a butterfly in a jar. Basically a bunch of animal trash. And of course, after all that searching, the kids are even more lost than when they started. Suddenly, it's night, and the Boo Hag remembers she's the antagonist of this movie, and it's been a few minutes since she's stirred any shit up. So she decides to mess with Papa Bear by summoning a banshee to disturb him and scare him, even though Papa Bear hasn't really done anything to her. So the banshee finds Papa Bear and scares him real bad. Hey, Mother Nature, just checking in again. How's that superpowered furries experiment going for ya? Because it really seems like Papa Bear is officially less brave than those dogs that, like, square up to ghosts in TikTok paranormal content. Anyway, Papa Bear bumps right into the woodsman who is out there looking for Goldie. Meanwhile, the kids stumble into the actual Costco Christmas display section of the forest. They just mosey around, oohing and awing, and Baby Bear kicks off one of the worst Christmas songs I have ever heard.
To the perfect gift out there.
Then the kids come across the squirrels who are still demolishing Goldie's basket hours later, and they decide to devise a plan to get the basket back because, you know, we've got so much time for side missions right now. They dress up like the Boo Hag, they scare the squirrels away, and then they take some time to sit down and eat whatever's left in the basket because, again, we have so much time to waste. Back with the dads, Papa Bear asks the woodsman to kindly put his weapon down, but the woodsman's like, no way. For a second, these two are like, you're the monster. No, you're the monster. So on and so forth. But then once they work out that both of them are looking for their children, they decide to put their differences aside and start looking for them all together. And now it's time for the movie's feminist thesis. Yes, you heard that correctly. Back at the bear's house, the women are working in the kitchen where they belong. Sorry, that came out kind of unhinged. They're sobbing their little hearts out as they assemble a pie because their boys aren't home yet. Then that snooty, child-free possum lady's like, oh, pull yourself together, girls. You two are stronger than all this blubbering. And I swear to God, this is what inspires the beaver mom. She's suddenly all, you're right. We're a bunch of strong, independent women. Why don't we go look for the kids? Ladies, it's not just that you are strong, independent women. It's that you used to be literal wild animals. Maybe you could have tapped into that like 8 hours ago. Mama Bear, what did you people even internalize human gender roles and clothing for in the first place? Like, how did that serve Mother Nature? Why are you wearing a bonnet, you possum? So Beaver Mom and Mama Bear elect to go out on their own search party, and Possum Lady stays behind because she's all talk and no action. Back in the Costco section, the kids are finishing off the basket food when Goldie's like, here, Baby Bear, you should have this. She hands over this obviously mass-produced plastic bow like, my mom gave this to me when I was a baby. You should give it to your mom in case it's the perfect Christmas gift. Yeah, just in case. And then Baby Bear's all, oh shit, that's right. My mom, my human body. We gotta hustle. So then the fairy reappears and helpfully leads them back to the trail. We cut back to the dads. They're venting about how disobedient and reckless their children are, which of course helps make them realize that they have much more in common with each other than they ever dreamed.
I told her these woods were very dangerous. Girl.
Is it just me, or are these scenes between the woodsman and Papa Bear getting, like, a little flirty? Just kidding. I already made a reel about them years ago.
I am a cultured, gentle bear.
Boy, howdy. Boy, howdy. Boy, howdy. Boy, howdy.
you know, as a coping mechanism. Hot take. Papa Bear should have cheated on Mama Bear at this point with the woodsman. I mean, just look at these pathetic women. They're blundering around out there wearing pots and pans, getting scared by owls. Papa Bear, that woman let you go out and look for your son by yourself for hours. Shouldn't you be with a strong, proactive man who cares about his children just as much as you care about yours? Think about it. Back with the kids. The fairy leads the kids back to the trail so they can make it home now. But they get sidetracked again when they spot...
It's a gypsy camp.
Oh, man.
Be careful. Mama says that gypsies aren't to be trusted.
The fox is named Madame Rosa, and she wants to strike some sort of deal with the kids. Somehow she convinces them to stay for a while and eat some of her cabbage soup. And then when they're done, Madame Rosa won't let them leave. She's like, surely you have something to give me in return for all that food. So she tries to take their bag, prompting Benny to blurt out their whole boo hag backstory all over again. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the forest, the moms and the dads finally run into each other. That's it. We go right back to Madame Rosa's camp. Now that the fox knows the whole ludicrous story, she's like, excuse me, perfect gifts are my thing. I know exactly what you can give your mom. If you just trade me everything you've got in that bag, it's all yours. Then she sings this really poor, unfortunate souls-ass song to convince Baby Bear. Madame Rosa's perfect gift idea turns out to be this massive Christmas ornament. Baby Bear's supposed to hang that ornament on the Christmas tree, and then he's gonna make a wish, and then he'll become a bear again. I guess completely overriding the original terms of the curse that the boo hag placed on him, technically. Whatever works, I guess. Then the fox goes to leave because she has a Hanukkah party across the forest. Well, you heard her. Let's get the fuck out of here, people. I'm not sticking around to see what the Jewish forest animals are like. My people have been through enough. We cut back to the parents. So the sun is out, right? And it seems that these animals were just standing there doing nothing for like 30 minutes, waiting for the sun to rise all the way before continuing their conversation from where we left off. The women are suddenly all, my God, Papa, get away from the human. So Papa Bear explains that the woodsman's a good human. 'Cause see, he has a kid just like we do. And so the animals and the man have learned a valuable Christmas lesson. And at that moment, the kids finally arrive and reunite with their parents. They're doing this Homeward Bound style for God knows why. Just one at a time. First, Goldie reunites with the woodsman. She's like, sorry, I ran into the forest and befriended the animals. And her dad's like, no, I'm glad you did. Goldie, I want to introduce you to your new dad, Papa Bear. Just kidding, just kidding. I wish. For real, the woodsman's just like, oh, I'm glad he did, because now I know that, like, just because animals are different doesn't mean I have to hate them. And also, chopping down that tree was my own goddamn fault. So what was I even blaming the animals for? I don't know. Then Benny arrives, unfortunately. Then finally, Baby Bear shows up with that big ornament. He explains to his parents what happened, and they take it shockingly well. So, in the ultimate test, the bears hang that ornament on a nearby tree. Baby Bear wishes to be a bear again, and then nothing happens.
Guess Madame Rosa was a fake after all.
Nah, gotcha. He turns back into a bear like a second later and everyone celebrates. But then the boo hag takes the stage. She's like, Baby Bear, don't you realize that the sun is already up? You idiot. You're too late. And she just makes him a human boy again. The bear parents beg for mercy, but then Baby Bear steps in like, look, boo hag, I took something that didn't belong to me, so I'm gonna suffer the consequences. Do your worst, boo hag. And then he gives the boo hag his Christmas ornament as a Christmas gift for her. And the boo hag's just shocked that anybody gave her a Christmas gift. Like, can you blame her? She's so shocked, she starts convulsing again. Ugh. But then everyone ignores her because Mother Nature reappears in the sky. Mother Nature's like, dang, you all learned so much today. Woodsman, you figured out that people who look different from you aren't bad. Children, you're so nice and brave. You know what? I bless you forever. And Bear family, you showed us that love conquers all or whatever. And Baby Bear, you took basic responsibility for stealing something. So get a load of this. I'm making you a bear again. And that's when the boo hag turns into Goldie's mom? What the fuck? Excuse me? Okay, first of all, this woman should be way more upset with her husband right now. Woman, he let you take the fall for his mistake. For years. For years, you had to be a moldy Muppet. Where's the self-respect? Second of all, that was the servitude that Mother Nature sentenced you to? Being the boo hag? How did that help Mother Nature? What does a forest even need a boo hag for? And what about that banshee, huh? Was that a banshee? Or was that just another woman that Mother Nature punished on behalf of her stupid husband? I hate this universe. I don't think a single piece of it holds up. I've never seen a movie like this before. Oh my god. So in the last scene, the animals host their goddamn Christmas rumpus. And they invite everybody, including the squirrels and the humans and even the fox lady. Felonious is like, sometimes a loving heart is the greatest gift of all. Everyone's happy now. All our dreams came true. Merry goddamn boo hagmas, you piece of shit. Oh, but before we get to go home, we gotta sit through the most boring blooper reel of all time. Usually, filmmakers release blooper reels to show off how much fun everyone was having on set. That's definitely not the effect that this one has. It's just full of awkward moments between takes, parts where the kids were just standing around waiting for directions. We get to see some bad improv that got cut from the movie. And for all the actors who suffered through this thing in those heavy animal prosthetics, they throw up their headshots so we can see what they actually look like. Oh, what the fuck? Why was the skunk guy secretly hot? Oh my god, who cares? I'm done. I sure hope I didn't ruin anybody's Christmas or Hanukkah by subjecting you to this movie. But if I did, and if you liked it, and if you still haven't hit that subscribe button and notification bell down below yet, I strongly suggest you do so. On my channel, we cover a lot of Degrassi content, some WWE content, some movie reviews, and I'm about to do a lot more of all that in 2026, so you won't want to miss out. But that's enough from me for today. Remember to give your mama bear the perfect gift, and I'll see you next year.